everybody, Marlene, aka Snow Gardener 307. We are here for Back to the Basics. So happy Friday to each and every one of you. Today, I'm going to go ahead and share with you Sharla's update. I'm excited to talk to you guys about some of the things that Sharla did this week with her budget. And then I also am going to talk to you guys about how I track my weekly spending. And I am a cash-based budgeter, so I do videos where I check in on my weekly spending. It's not something that I do all the time. And so I decided, you know what, today let's talk about spending. Let's talk about tracking our spending, because that is one of the most basic things that you can do to help your budget.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Go ahead and get started with Sharla's update. I am excited for this update, and I'm going to walk you guys through it, and I'm going to tell you why I'm excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up right here. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and start up at the top, and you can see that this budget says 10/10. This started last Friday, ended yesterday. And so it's 10/10 to 10/16. Charlotte and her husband, between Charlotte's paydays, her husband's paydays, and child support, they get a check every single week. At least one, if not two checks. And so this check, you're going to notice up at the top, Sharla made a note that said that this was the check from when she was in the hospital. So you're going to see that Sharla's check was low, but the other thing you're going to see is, thank goodness, her husband's check was close to twice as much, right? It was $1,000 more than normal. So that's great for a weekly budget. So Sharla's husband's check was $2,118.91. Sharla's paycheck was $596.44. So they have $2,715.35 to work for this budget. Then we're going to go down through the list. And you can see here that we have got Capital One, and Hulu that are the same price as what was on the budget. Then you're going to see electricity was $27.04 higher than what we budgeted for. And AT&T, which is their phones and their internet, and yes, it is a large bill, you guys, is $557.45, so they were $7.45 over. Charlotte also put $430.86 to her car payment. And then, you guys, we're going to see some stuff down below. So we see hubby oil change, $60. We see Merrick, Amazon, Chase, money towards rent, and flea and tick med. So there's a bunch of expenses there that were not actually on this budget. So, of course, oil changes. They don't have a car sinking fund yet or anything like that. So they're going to have to cash flow that, right? Which they did. Then we've got 3 credit card payments and part of the month of rent. And then, of course, flea and tick med for pets. But let's talk about, why did Sharla pay extra credit cards and extra towards her rent? This is because if you watched last week's update, Sharla did not receive the child support like she was supposed to. And she was afraid that on the next paycheck today, right, the budget for today, I'm not sure, I haven't talked to Sharla about if she received it or not, but she was afraid she wasn't going to receive child support. So since they did have a larger amount, Sharla went ahead and got them a little bit ahead on the bills. And so I'm excited about this. And when I talked to Sharla about this, I'm like, this is a sign that you are growing in your budgeting abilities, capabilities, whatever you want to call them. You're kind of looking ahead going, okay, I want to make sure that we're not short next week. So I'm going to take some of that extra money and pay part of the bills that are next week. So a huge thumbs up for Sharla for making that choice right there. So the bills, instead of being $1,301.86, were $2,735. But that still left them with $708. So they're still ahead of what the budget said. So all of the cash, as you guys see right here, she pulls all of the cash, puts it into the wallet, puts it into envelopes wherever she puts it. And then if she has anything left over with it, then it goes into savings challenges or sinking funds. So she pulls everything. And so that's why it's always going to match exactly. So that left her $338. We go over to the next column, to the sinking fund column, all the way down to the bottom. We see holidays. That was one of her top priorities. She did go ahead and add the $50. And then she added $75 into savings challenges. And Sharla is like me. She's motivated by playing games and doing challenges. It helps her stay on track, and it wants her to save more, or it makes her want to save more, I should say. So she put $125 in there. So there was $213 left. She put $100 towards the Capital One Quicksilver card, and that left her with $113. Emergency fund did not need to be funded because she already filled that, right? And so she went ahead and left $113 sitting in their account for the same reason that she paid extra on the bills. She's not sure what's going to happen with this week that just started today. And so congratulations to Sharla for taking the time to think about what the future looks like in her budget for this month. Still put money towards, obviously, her debt snowball. She's put money towards savings challenges. And I believe from the conversation that I had with Sharla, a lot of that savings challenge money is going to go to debt, right? Because that's the journey they're on right now. So when she has the savings challenges, she's going to go ahead and add them into her debt snowball. And I'm excited that Sharla decided to do it this way. You have to work with whatever is going to help you. That is the most important. For me, when I first started my debt-free journey, of course, remember you guys, I had almost $50,000 in credit card debt. I didn't do any savings challenges. But 5 years ago, while the savings challenges were around, they weren't as big as they are now. There wasn't as many options. There's a lot of free options. There's a lot of options that are very minimal. And so it doesn't cost you anything to save the money. And some people are in the mindset that if you have $75, why not just pay that to the credit card because you'll save the interest, which I understand and 100% agree with. But at the same time, I know I am motivated by the savings challenges as well. It's the same conversation we had last week about the mortgage, where people are like, your mortgage interest rate is so low. Instead of putting extra to your mortgage or as much extra to your mortgage, you should be investing more because your return on your money is higher. I understand that as well. But for me personally, being debt-free and paying my mortgage off is going to be such a sigh of relief that I'm willing to push off more of the investing. Now, of course, still investing, you guys, we're not investing. Just like, it's not like Charla's not paying on her debt, right? She put $100 this week to that one credit card. And we know that she's got all of her buy now, pay laters paid for. All right, you guys, let me go ahead and flip you around. And we're going to talk about how I track my spending each and every week. I've got a couple different forms that I use. And so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to unstuff my wallet and stuff my wallet. So let's get that started. One of the things that you're going to see when I track my budget is you're going to see chai. This is my bad habit, 100%. This is a pumpkin chai. Here is one way that I keep track of my spending. This is my weekly spending. This is a monthly kit that comes with everything else. So you can see it's October and it has all of the spending. Now, I did an okay job last week. The week before, I did an awful job. You guys can see I didn't use it. I'm here to keep it real with you guys. There are times in my life where I do a really good job keeping track of every penny I spend. And there are times when I don't do a good job. I can tell you guys this, when I don't track my spending, I fall off my budget. And if I don't track my spending, I generally only do it for a week or two. And that's because I know if I don't get back on, then I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So you need to find a way that works for you. Whether it's something like this, whether it's an app that you use on your phone, whether it's a notebook that you have where you just write everything down, you don't need a special kit to do it. I like this kit because it gives me a big box, because a lot of times when I go out of town, I spend a lot of money at a lot of different places. And on Saturday the 11th, and I'm doing this from Saturday to Friday, it's what's working for me. So I keep it that way because I get new money for the weekend. And so on Saturday, I went out of town. I went to a baby shower. And so I took my daughter to Deja Brew and we got some teas there. And so $13 for that. I took that out of Julia's sinking fund. That's the money that I put in every month for my kids. They each have a sinking fund, and it's to do stuff like this. I went and bought her a drink before we went. Then Bridger and I went to Walmart and we bought a couple things for the home. One of the things that we bought was a new canister for his coffee. Sorry, you guys, I'm getting all choked up. A new canister for his coffee. And we also bought a cast iron pan. I'm going to go ahead and have a drink really quick. And so we took $25 out of home, but $34 had to come out of the sinking fund for home. Then Maverick, $29 for gas for my car. Old Chicago, this is what we had for dinner. We took $25 out of fun and $34 out of food because it's your money. Decide how you want to spend it. Ridley's, this is our grocery store. I spent $10 on food for us for the week. And then I also spent $50. And this was for my sister-in-law. You're going to see the video tomorrow for this grocery haul. And so it was for my sister-in-law and my niece for their groceries. So I took it out of my pay it forward. I had $30 in my wallet. So I took $20 out of my pay it forward sinking fund. And last but not least, chai tea. And this was actually for myself, for my husband, and my sister-in-law. So 3 drinks, so $23. And I took that out of my money. So yes, this day I had 2 different drinks on the same day. It's definitely a problem. My husband was home again, so I went and got us a coffee on Sunday. You see that money came out of my money. Nothing on Monday, no spend. On Tuesday, I went to Ridley's again. I needed a few food items. I believe I got some mushrooms, a head of lettuce, and some tomatoes, I believe. Again, a chai tea. We're seeing a pattern here, right? No spending on Wednesday. On Thursday, I went to the store again. This is really unusual for me, you guys, but my husband has been home all week, which is also highly unusual. And we're running out of things that if it was just me, or, you know, I wasn't baking as much. I've been doing a lot of sourdough, and I've been doing some sourdough baking. So we've been doing sourdough pancakes. I made some sourdough brownies. I also made some sourdough pumpkin bread. So going through eggs. So I went on Thursday to get eggs because he wanted to have pancakes this morning, and I was out of eggs. And so I found eggs for $1.99 a dozen. So I didn't just buy 1 dozen, I bought 3 dozen, and then chai tea for me. And then I went ahead and, ordered some scuba diving apparel, and Wanderlust, I think is what this is called. I spent $178. That is coming out of my clothing sinking fund. And then earlier today, my husband and I went to the county clerk. He's actually off on a day, and we switched over. I put car here. I should have just put titles. We changed the names on all of the titles for everything we own to have both of our names on it. This is one of the things that I recommend. After going through the probate process, I'm still in the probate process for my parents' estate, is to ensure that if you are married to somebody, that on everything on the title itself, that all the names are on it. Because we had multiple things. We have multiple vehicles. We have a snow machine trailer. We have snow machines, you know, things like that. And so now everything has both of our names on it. And that is so that if anything happens to either of us, those won't have to go into a probate process, right? So a little bit of that. So I also broke it down here for myself. I spent $627 for the week. Not too bad. The $178 in clothes and the car titles, that was a little bit unusual. So you look at that, that was close to $200. I also broke down all of the weekly amounts of what I spent. So I'm going to close this up. We're going to go ahead and grab my actual weekly check-in, and I've got some cash for my wallet. So let's put this here. Let's make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, I did a pretty good job guessing where it needs to be. And we are now going to unstuff my wallet and stuff it. So this is my money each week that gets stuffed. And so each week I add in the same exact amount, right? But I do it after I go through and take all of my spending off. So before I can add my money, I have to take my money out. Some categories I let roll over, some I do not. And that really just depends. You make it work for however it works for you, right? And so I've already written the totals down that I spent down here. And so in food, I spent $58. So I should have, what is that? $42 left? Let's hope, because that's what I wrote down. 42. So I've got 10, 30, no, I've got 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42. We're going to set that aside, okay? We've got Prepper Pantry. I did not spend anything out of Prepper Pantry, so we've got $50 there. We're going to set that aside. So we spent nothing, and so we've got 50. And so this right here, both of these are going to go to debt. So we are going to pay our debt with the money we didn't spend. Car right here, I spent $29 on gas, and I have $21 left over. So this is going to car sinking fund. And the car sinking fund is what just paid for the $105 to get all of the titles redone. And like I said, it will save us so much money. I started out with $76 for myself, and I've got 25 left. That means that I spent $51. And you guys, I spent $51 on chai tea and coffee. Not just for myself. So I feel a little bit better about that. And we are just going to roll over my spending money. And then the pay it forward give, we spent the money, right? And so we spent all 20 of it, and I had 0 left. And so I'm trying to remember. I may have put that 30 came out of a sinking fund or 20. But together, we spent $50 in pay it forward. Fun and miscellaneous, right here, we had $50. We spent all of it. And now that I think of that, did I put that I spent 50? No, I put that I only spent 25. And I had 50. So I cost myself $25 on food. Unless I had spent it on something else. I'm not sure, you guys. because I had rolled over that 25. So we spent 50, $0 there. We also spent $25 out of home. And so there's nothing there. So not a ton of, you know, rollovers, but we do have a little bit of rollover. We've got some money going to the car sinking fund and some money going to debt. Now let's go ahead and stuff the new money. Every week we get $100 for food. We also get $50 for Prepper Pantry. The Prepper Pantry, you guys, can save you so much money. One of the things that I want to do on my other channel is I want to start doing more budget-friendly meals because I know that's someplace that a lot of people are struggling. For car, I put $50 in every single week for gas. For myself, I allow myself to have $40 of guilt-free money, even if it's all going to sweet, sugary chai drinks. And then for Pay It Forward, I do $10. So $10 into Pay It Forward. That can be used for absolutely anything. Like I said, I'm paying it forward to my sister-in-law and my niece by doing a fun budget video, a budget grocery haul video with them. $25 to Fun and Home, $25 to, well, Fun and Miscellaneous and Home. This goes back into my wallet. You will see that I've got a mad stack of cash right here. Mr. Snow Gardener is getting tattooed tomorrow, so we'll be headed for that. So more on his leg sleeve. So right here, we're going to go ahead and grab out Mr. Snow Gardener's truck tracker, right? His debt snowball tracker. Let's grab it so we can put this extra payment on here. And then the $21, as I said, will be going into my car fund. So where are you? There it is. Okay, truck. Here's truck. And so this is what I do every single week, whether I film it or not. And let me go ahead and grab the binder that I need for that other money to go in, because if I don't, then obviously I'm going to forget what to do with it. So let's go ahead and grab this right now and put this into the car sinking fund. This will help replace that $105 that I just took out. So $21 going into auto right there, right back into the safe is where this goes. And then for our payment, we have got, what do we have here? $50, $70, $80, $85, $90, $92, you guys. That's not too bad. And so that we're just going to go ahead and put wallet here. And today is the 17th. And so we're going to go ahead and take $92, I said, right? 50, 70, 80, 92. So take $92 off. 12,854 minus 92, 12,762. And then of course right here, to make it easier for me to track the goal, I have been adding this little sticky note here. It just keeps my heart happy. And I try to do things that make my heart happy. And I love being able to just look, because Mr. Snow Gardener doesn't look at these forms as much as I do. And so I love to be able to either show him the forms if he's home, or, and I can't, that's a 9, you guys, or I can take a picture of this and go, okay, your goal for the month was to pay $1,560 to your truck, and you've already paid $1,719, and we're about mid-month. So I love being able to do that. You guys, when you track your money, it does not matter how you track your money, but you need to figure out a way that you can track your money that keeps you motivated, that helps you reach your goals. If you guys have any questions about tracking anything, make sure you let me know. Also, if you're not familiar, I have several free documents on my website. That's www.snowgardener.com is what that is. And you can go grab them. I'm pretty sure I have the weekly box list for free on there. It doesn't have any pattern. It doesn't have anything, but you can print it, you can color it, you can put stickers on it, do whatever you need to do. Because of course, if you're pinching pennies to pay the bills, to feed your family, then spending money on budget stuff isn't something that you should be doing. And I know that I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot when I tell you guys that, but that is what's important, right? That is why I do what I do, is because I want to ensure that you guys are having opportunities to make good financial decisions, including some free budgeting stuff. All right, you guys, that's it for this Friday. Until I see you guys next time, remember to keep on smiling. Thanks, everybody.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up.